Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. She's the host of the program and the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, this is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate, and it does it with Colorado's real estate authority, Barb Schlinker. Barb is a retired Navy veteran. Barb is also an author. Barb Schlinker is a pilot, and Barb and her team enjoy all that Colorado and the Front Range have to offer. Barb, always great to be talking with you. Now, we air Your Real Estate Voice every Saturday, right after Larry Kudlow, 11 o'clock. And if you can't listen to the entire show, it is always available by going to barbhasthebuyers.com, or you can just go ahead and search Barb on most of the podcast platforms, iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, etc. Barb, what are the main things we'll be talking about today?
Well, Richard, I'm excited because it's really interesting to see what's going on and how quickly the markets change, the buyer activity changes. But so I've had people give me feedback when I meet with them that they think, the reason why the market isn't as hot as it used to be is there's a little bit of uncertainty in what's going on in our country, in our world, in our state, and they have doubts as to whether or not this is a good investment to buy real estate right now versus maybe waiting for lower rates or waiting for the prices to come down. But I think you'll find when we deep dive into it that prices just go up in real estate. So if you are in a position to buy, it's a great time to buy a home. The other thing too, we're going to talk about is how you know your home is sold. So we're the only brokerage in town that can show up with multiple offers on your home on day one. I don't know anybody else that can do that. And these investors compete with each other to buy your home. So we're going to go show you exactly how we do that, why we do that, and it'll give you options and certainty to know that your home is sold. And then the next thing we're going to talk about, which is my number one question I get besides what is my home worth, is what do I need to do to get my house sold? So we're going to go over the top ways to make sure you get the most money when you sell a house. A lot of them are very simple. You don't have to spend a fortune. It doesn't have to be a Corinthian leather rehab. We can make it happen with very simple, relatively inexpensive things. And the very last thing is something that I deal with week in, week out: inspection repairs, inspection objections, buyers wanting stuff, agents wanting stuff, how to deal with that and how to negotiate effectively. And as always, I love talking about my hot new listings. Richard?
Barb, with all of the chaos in the United States right now, uncertainty about the election, uncertainty with a regard, yeah. Barb, with all the chaos in the United States right now, uncertainty about the election, uncertainty about the stock market, how do buyers know for sure that real estate is a good investment right now?
Well, Richard, while not every home is selling, we do see homes expired or get canceled pretty much every week. Most will sell if they are priced right. And it's actually an art and a science to figure out what is the right price for that home. What is that number that makes that home resonate with a buyer looking for a home like that? And to everybody's big surprise, really, overall, the prices are still rising, but not for every home and not every situation. So what that tells me overall, over the long term, if prices are going up, real estate is a good investment. And whatever the Fed does, I wouldn't worry too much about it. I just checked on rates today. They are in the low sevens. They dropped. They were up at over 7.5 just a week and a half ago. Now, you may recall the Fed did not lower the rates in the last meeting, and everybody was kind of worried about that. But it doesn't matter what the Fed does. Things like the prices of mortgages, which are interest rates, fluctuate according to supply and demand. So if there's low demand for rates and the rates are higher, the lenders are going to start lowering the rates so they can get some business. And that's exactly what I see going on right now. Currently, for a 30-year fixed, it's 7.12%. For a 30-year VA, it's 6.6%. That's not too bad. When I first started in the real estate business back in the mid 90s, I know that for some people that it's probably more than a lifetime for them. Um, when I first got my license, I believe the rates were probably in the nines somewhere for a 30-year fixed mortgage. And in about a year after that, they dropped down to right where they are right now, right about 7%. And I remember my broker doing the happy dance. I was at my first real estate brokerage, and he's like, oh my gosh, this is earth shattering. The rates have never been as low as 7% in 50 years. So things changed a lot since then. We had the meltdown. Then the Fed kind of artificially created these crazy low interest rates for a while, and everybody got used to it. So now the rates are kind of normalizing at around 7%, which is still on the low side. Buyers are whining about it. So it's all about payment and affordability. So at the end of the day, if the buyer can afford the payment, they're going to make a move, right? And what we're seeing right now, currently in the market, and some of this is absolute seasonality. If you looked at the number of available homes and looked at from January through December, it would look just like a bell curve. Inventory of available homes would be low in the winter time. They would peak out in the summer and drop off in the fall and winter. That happens in this market year after year. So what we're seeing right now is an increased number of available homes, but it's a larger surge of available homes than what we saw just a year ago. A year ago, the interest rates were about 1% less than what they are right now. So we're seeing 25% more available homes as compared to a year ago. And the result is basically that days on market are going higher and fewer buyers can afford the home. But that doesn't mean homes are not selling. It just means some are not selling. And the big surprise to me is the prices are going upwards, not downwards, not flat, just like they did last year. So I think it's a really good time to invest in real estate. And as always, homes that are priced initially correctly are probably going to sell within the first 30 days, less than the average days on market. And they tend to sell for the most money. But as it stands right now, the Colorado Springs market is doing pretty well. The Castle Rock market, we've seen a price drop just from last week, but I wouldn't let that bother you too much because overall, it's just data that was pulled week to week. It could be that the higher end homes didn't sell last week. We don't know. But what we are seeing is an overall trend of kind of flat in terms of prices compared to 1 year ago. And the average days on market in Castle Rock's about 49 days. Woodland Park, we saw the same kind of thing happen, but average days market up there in Teller County, about 84 days. In Florissant, it's probably about the same, 87 days, and the prices have gone up in the last week. Pueblo West is doing pretty well. They have a kind of a steady rise in price in the last year, and the average days on market is still the same, 83 days, and that's about buyer affordability. My favorite area, Monument's average days on market right now are 69 days, with the median price of new listings hovering right around 900,000. But the inventory is low in Monument. So that's kind of a clue that area is doing pretty well. But in general, real estate is very local. It's local to the zip code. It's local to the school district. Sometimes it's local to the neighborhood. It's local to what the house has and what your competition looks like. That's why you really need somebody that knows how to position the home, to price it appropriately, and that can give you certainty that it's going to sell. And I think buyers, they really want to know they've made the right choice when they purchase a home. I see this all the time. Once they go under contract, they bring all their friends to the inspection and, family members. See, look at the house that I brought, which is okay. They're supposed to be doing the inspection during the inspection and not having a party. However, It's more about their excitement and getting confirmation that they've done the right thing. So if you are thinking of making a move and you'd like to know what your home will sell for, how your home can sell for 100% of market value, or will guarantee it and pay you the difference, or if you just want to know what your home is worth, go to barbhasthebuyers.com, click on any one of those links to reach out to us. It's a free service and you're never obligated to anything. And if you do want to make a move fairly soon, we'd love to come out and talk with you, give you tips on what to do, what not to do to get your house ready for sale, give you a really good idea what price range your home will sell for, and show you all of our buyers that would be interested in your home. We're talking about whether or not this real estate market is getting stronger or not, and whether or not it's a good investment for real estate. And next up, we're going to hit on some other things that can really help you position the home to make sure it sells for the most money. Richard?
Barb, we're discussing the top reasons why buying real estate is really a great investment. So, Barb, how do buyers actually know that they've made the right choice when it comes to making that purchase?
Well, I think they can usually tell if they have some indication they have competition, if some other buyer wants the home, which happens in my world way more often than you would think. That's a clue that other buyers think it's a good investment as well. You can tell by the activity when you're looking at the house. You can tell by whether or not you have competition. All those things are a clue, but most of all, being prepared and making sure that you can afford the home is the most important step. And that should be done before you start shopping. And that's part of one of our services for our VIP buyer services. We don't just find you the right home. We're also making sure you get the right financing and to make sure that you know that you've made the right decision at the time that you purchase. And if you're a seller, it's absolutely critical that you get all the 4 P's correct: preparation, picking the right agent, pricing it right, and making sure your agent promotes the home to get the most money. And the market's going to tell you if you were off on that. If you're getting very few showings, it's not the right price. If you're getting showings but no offers, you're just a little bit off. And if you're getting offers, just stay right there. So if you are thinking of making a move and you'd like to talk to an agent that has some expertise, that's what my team does. Give us a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And if you want to sell or buy a home, Barb is the only person I would trust, especially selling. It's the largest investment you have. Barb guarantees it. Give her a call, 719-301-3900, or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. Take a short break. When we come back, we'll be discussing how to know that your home is sold with a cash offer program. Stay tuned for that.